I'm Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and this is the all-new Cupra Tavascan, the second all-electric Cupra, launching, of course, after the Born electric hatchback, which is coming to Australia next week. Now, the Tavascan is a much bigger car than the Born. It's a mid-size SUV. It's about 4.6 meters in length on a 2.7 meter wheelbase. So this is actually going to go directly up against the Tesla Model Y, which is the most popular electric vehicle on sale in Australia right now, and really at the heart of the segment that Cupra needs to be at. Now, the Tavascan runs on the same MEB platform as cars like the Cupra Born, the Volkswagen ID4 and the Volkswagen ID5, but as you can see, the styling is much more radical than those vehicles. It wears Cupra's new design language here at the front, which is really quite something. They've pushed this platform about as far as it can go in terms of trying to get the hard points and the wheels pushed right out to the corners, and then applying this new front end, which we're going to see on the facelifted version of the Born, the Formentor and the Leon, which are going to arrive in the next couple of years. We've got these headlights here with this triple triangle light signature, plus an illuminated Cupra logo, illuminated strip across the front as well. It's a very aggressive look. Now, moving down the sides, this is starting to show where Cupra have been able to get their way with the Volkswagen Group. The Tavascan wears 21-inch wheels, which is bigger than any other car on MEB, but not only that, it also gets the most powerful rear motor ever seen on an MEB vehicle, and that's a 210 kilowatt rear motor, plus an 80 kilowatt front motor if you go for the dual motor all-wheel drive version. Total output is limited to 250 kilowatts of power though, because of how quickly electricity can be taken from the 77 kilowatt hour usable battery in this car. In terms of driving range, it's 520 kilometers for this dual motor VZ all-wheel drive version, but you can get a rear-wheel drive car with 210 kilowatts of power and 550 kilometers of range. And I think that car actually might end up being a bit of a driver's spec. That's a trim grade called the Endurance. But if you like the exterior styling, radical at the front, a little bit softer at the back, you're going to find the interior just fascinating. So let's jump in there now. The interior of the Tavascan is really bold. It goes a lot further than the Cupra Born in terms of distinctive Cupra type interior styling. And as you can see, it's based around this spine motif here that rises up to support a huge 15-inch touchscreen, the biggest touchscreen seen in a Cupra yet. But we're sitting in an interior that is so different to cars like the Volkswagen ID3, ID4, and that's just terrific. It's built around this dark blue aesthetic with loads of copper accents, which we're used to from Cupra's flagship products. This is a VZ model, of course. The steering wheel is perforated. We now have Regen paddle shifters for 4 levels of Regen, and we're looking towards a smaller digital instrument cluster, which is common to all MEB vehicles. Now, in terms of controls, they are touch capacitive on the wheel and touch capacitive in terms of your climate and volume here, but finally they are now backlit, so you can actually see what you're doing. There's going to be wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. The seats are comfortable, they have electric adjustment, and the material quality feels high-end, which is important to support this car's price, which I think will start from around $75,000. It will launch in Europe in the middle of 2024, but the Australian launch will be early 2025. Still, a 6-month gap is pretty short for an Australian arrival in terms of the Volkswagen Group. These seats are studded with the Cupra motif. There's a similar effect in ambient lighting in the front doors. And in terms of size and space, this car is going to be big enough to fit 4 adults comfortably. There is a 5th seat in the back though as well, which is going to be roomy enough. Now, we're going to be tracking the arrival of the Cupra Tavascan as it gets closer to its European and Australian launch. We'll be test driving the car hopefully next year. But in terms of first impressions, it has striking styling, interior quality feels good. Many of the basic specs look decent. The 135 kilowatt charging is perhaps a worry. We'll see if they can upgrade that before the car is released. But for Cupra's first bigger EV, their first Chinese-made model, the Tavascan certainly makes a solid first impression. Now, I'm keen to know your opinions, so please let me know down below in the comments. While you're there, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.